never gotta wear a bra a day in my life ever again. Hello. Hey Bookies, welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be a Q&A. I basically went on Instagram, went on TikTok, and I asked you guys to give me a bunch of questions to answer about my surgery, and I will truthfully answer them in this video. So let's just get straight into it, okay? First question, y'all. Miss T Rose from TikTok asked me, did I get my arms done? If not, do I ever plan on doing them? This is causing a bunch of controversy on TikTok. People believe that I actually did not get my arms done because my arms still look big. I got arm lipo in the back of my arm. Arm lipo only starts right here. The difference between arm lipo and a arm lift is when they cut this off. This is what I have left over of my arm. Arm lipo is just sucking the fat out, because I know people are not gonna listen. They're gonna play telephone when it comes to this video. The reason why I could not get an arm lift was because I had already was in the process of getting 6 different procedures done, so the doctor didn't want to put too much pressure on me, okay? After going through the process of him doing my surgery, I realized that I should have went through with the arm lift instead of the arm lipo. For some reason, I thought the arm lipo was going to get rid of like the excess skin right here. My doctor explained to me that this was just loose skin, not fat. So because I got 6 different procedures done, my doctor had to explain to me that if I was to get the arm lift, it would be a lot to manage. And to be politically correct, in my consultation, I did ask him, was he willing to swap out the arm lipo for my arm lift so that way I could keep my boobs? He told me that I could not do that. In order for me to get the lift for my arms, I had to remove the breast augmentation. So I wanted my titties done so bad. I was just like, all right, whatever. So he promised me that he would aggressively lipo my arms, which he did. So he also told me in the same breath that I would have to come back for a round 2 and get my arms done. So basically what my goal was, my first round, was to get as many procedures as I can, so that way I wouldn't be making multiple trips trying to get multiple things done. You know what I'm saying? Yana and her doodles from TikTok asked me, do you regret it due to the pain? Y'all, I kid you not, the first couple of days, like the first week and a half, I really was regretting it, because I'm just like, it's no way this should feel like this. But I also had to be a little bit understanding of the process, and it only was a lot because I had got a lot done. So the fact that the anesthesia was wearing off, the pain was starting to show up. So when I got admitted into the hospital hours after I was taken out of the operation room, right, I wake up, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not in pain, this is a good thing, this and that, right? So my mom was like, girl, you under anesthesia, like that's the only reason why you don't feel pain. But I'm just like, girl, you bluffing, you don't know what you're talking about. But once I started like walking around, it was really painful to move. And then on top of that, it was more so of me being in a really compressed faja. They squeeze a faja that's not even your size onto your body, and when you wake up, you're in that garment. I regretted it in the beginning, but once I had the compression and the massages, and I had really good people around me in my ear telling me everything is gonna be okay, that thought was out of my mind. So basically now, today, I feel good. Next question. Nye from TikTok asked me, what was the pain level from 1 to 10? 10, 1,000, a million. Out of everything that I went through, the massages was the most painful thing ever. I don't think people understand how tense those lymphatic massages can be. Like, you have a lot of inflammation, you're swollen, you're bruised, you're numb, you still got anesthesia in your body that's still wearing off. So the fact that somebody is pushing against your skin, it literally feels like somebody has a lighter against your skin underneath the first layer of your skin and burning you, literally. Like, anybody that has gotten surgery or have done lymphatic massages on a patient, you understand what I'm talking about. Like, it's not easy, it's not fun, it's not relaxing, especially your first 3 or 4 or 5. It's going to hurt. I didn't start enjoying my massages until my last 3 massages, and that's when I was able to switch my masseuse. The masseuse that I had, oh my god, let me tell you something. When I tell you, I'm pretty sure she understood what I was telling her when I was explaining to her that I was uncomfortable. Those massages had me crying, screaming, hollering. I'm surprised that nobody in that building that we were staying in didn't call the cops, because that's how bad it was. Ever since that masseuse stepped foot into my Airbnb, she put so much fear in my heart. I've never been scared of nobody a day in my life. Every time I knew she was coming, I was getting nervous. I had a lot of instances where my blood pressure would raise and it was hard for it to get down. Like, it was going over levels that wasn't even normal. I just felt like she was just rushing through the process, and she was just extremely aggressive, and she just wasn't careful with how she was doing the massages. And I knew that was true because when I had got a replacement, she was very tender and very caring with me. She took her time. She was very soft. She had a little oomph into her technique, which was fine because you do need the extra pressure to get the fluid out and everything like that. I was given 4 post-op appointments throughout the whole entire state that I was in Dominican Republic. There's 2 nurses inside the clinic that take care of patients that come in for these post-op appointments. They basically clean your wounds, take off your tape off your incisions. They took the tape off my back lift scar because I also got a back lift, you guys. Tape that they put on your skin is the most stickiest, tightest tape that you can think of. Like right here, it ripped my skin. Eventually it healed and stuff like that, and I was able to put like some cream and like some ointment and stuff there. The doctor literally had to come in the room and ask me if I was okay. Like, my eyes was watery. I was in that room crying too in the clinic. Next question. Somebody asked me, is this my first BBL? Okay. The answer to your question, baby, is yes, this is my first BBL. I've never gotten a BBL before, never had no lipo in my stomach, in my back, in my arms, never had none of that. There was like this whole rumor going around when I went viral for eating a Chipotle bowl and a Chipotle burrito at the same time. It was nothing but a bunch of hate and that was talking about how I had got a BBL or whatever. The pinned video on my TikTok account, that was the real me before I got any work done. I'm not gonna be the first and I'm not gonna be the last to get a BBL. Sean Telly from Instagram asked me, how much did everything cost and how long does it take to recover? You gotta pay a surgery deposit. Surgery deposit was $500. So I pay for clinic services, right? So those clinic services consist of a 24-hour nurse for the day of surgery. That's $100 just for that day. A nurse is required to stay with me for 10 days, and that was $700. So the nursing service alone totaled up to $800. I also had to pay for transportation. So transportation consists of bringing me to all 4 of my post-op appointments, to and from the airport. That was $250. That was $250. And my post-op package consists of my purple cream, my pink oil, which is like ointments and stuff to help with swelling and bruising. They also provided me with my 2nd stage faja, my front board, my back board, my waistband. And a waistband is basically like a waist trainer with Velcro. And then my 3 lipo foams, my BBL polo compression socks, silicone band for my breast, a silicone pee funnel for me to be able to pee and I can't sit on a toilet, I just pee through a funnel, my pain meds, 1 pint of blood, which is a blood transfusion that's supposed to help you if you lose too much blood or if you lose too much tissue, they give you that. Now that post-op package cost $1,070. So you guys, I stayed in an Airbnb. I did not stay in a recovery house because I wanted privacy. I did not want to be in a room with somebody that I didn't know because sometimes do be getting robbed. That wouldn't be me. I paid a deposit of $205.99, and then I paid the remaining balance off a few days before my trip, and that was $823.92, and that totaled to $1,029.91 for a 15-day stay. Once I got admitted into the hospital after surgery, I did need 2 extra blood transfusions, right? Because I got 6 different procedures done that led to me losing more blood and more tissue. Normally, doctors recommend you to pay for it prior to laying on the table, and it's always a good thing to invest into because you just never know what can happen during surgery. So that cost $600. I also had to pay for massages separately. Massages was not included in my post-op. It was not included in my quote at all. That alone was $450. Then I also had to pay for a bra with sleeves. It's kind of like a faja but for your breast, and the sleeves is to help with compression and it can help with the swelling. That was $50. And then I also had a white Velcro band that went across my breast to help my breast settle down. That costed $15. I also tipped 3 of my favorite service providers. I tipped my favorite nurse, Maria, $175. I tipped my second nurse, Catalina, $100. And then I also tipped my second masseuse, which was the replacement for the first masseuse that I originally had for majority of the time that I was there. I tipped her $75. Now, the reason why I had 2 different nurses is because it was 2 different shifts. Anytime anytime somebody does something for me or they go out their way and they go above and beyond, I have to tip. I spent a total of $248.86 with shopping, groceries, food. As of right now, I'm 47 days post-op, so that's just about a little over a month and a half. Technically, it takes 6 months to recover, and it's very, very crucial for me to be compressed. Like, I have to constantly be in my faja. I can take the faja off, wash it, I can get in the shower, I can do all of these things, but it has to be back on my body. So the faja that I have on under this is basically the faja that I use when my Colombian faja is being washed. You see, it has 2 hooks, like it has 2 rows of hooks and stuff like that. But yeah, she looks good, y'all. Like, I love it. And my butt is extremely plushed. My back was really, really swollen right here, but it's gradually going down, which I love. Oh my God, y'all, I be so itchy. That cortisone cream don't work. But yeah, ladies, this process is very tedious. You have to be extremely patient. 1 minute you may feel like, oh my God, like my results is not resulting. You have to give yourself time. Next question, Miss Demetria79 from Instagram says, hey beautiful, what made you get a BBL when your figure was already nice? LOL, I wish I had it. People think this whole mukbang thing is what made me get a BBL. That's not what made me get a BBL. I've been wanting a BBL since 2019 when I was 18. But at the time, circumstances was different. I didn't have the money for it. I promised myself, I said, when I get myself in a position where I could financially afford it, I'm going to get it. I didn't give a who said what, who don't agree with what. I was going to do it anyway. Too High Ballet from Instagram asked me, will you be able to eat the same? So this is a good question. Realistically, no. You're not supposed to be eating crazy ass Chipotle bowls every day, because like I was wilding. I was eating good because the money was coming through. I had to make the content. The content was good. What I was doing was fun. But realistically, like if I want to keep up with my results and maintain the figure that I have to be able to balance my lifestyle. So nobody says that you can't have a Chipotle burrito every now and then or like a Chipotle bowl. You can literally space it out, but it's good to have more healthy than unhealthy. Me, mukbangs, hey baby, I know you. Hey me. She is asking me mentally, are you okay? And should she get a tummy tuck and did it hurt? Day 6 or day 7, I had a panic attack. I was just overwhelmed and I was just stressed out of the pain, and then knowing that the next morning I would have to wake up to get another massage. I had to basically isolate myself, and it kind of messed with me in my head because I just felt like I wasn't strong enough to get through 2 weeks of the toughest part of recovery. The pain can make you feel very indecisive. I 100% recommend a tummy tuck for any person that has had children before. It doesn't hurt. When you do get a tummy tuck, they put a drainage tube through your stomach. So it's basically supposed to help the fluid come out of your body. So when they do their massages, they'll massage the fluid out and you'll be able to see the fluid transport into the little drainage circle thing. And it'll basically get dumped every time you get a massage. So just remember that when you do get a tummy tuck, you will have a drainage in your stomach and it goes literally around your waist. They will most likely take the tube out of your stomach before you go home. Some girls do go home with the tube, but I wasn't with that. I'm not going to no urgent care. I'm not going to no hospital when I go home to get anybody to take the tube out. Take that out while I'm there. Real Pretty Yanni, she asked me how much was my whole entire surgery and who was my doctor. Excluding all the other expenses that I told y'all earlier, my surgery came up to a total of $9,930, okay? And to sum up all the fees that I told you guys earlier, plus my flight, plus my surgery payment, I paid a total of $15,692.39. And my doctor was Dr. Argeni Mercedes in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, okay? He is certified. He's the most sweetest doctor ever. He listens to you. He doesn't talk while you're talking. It's not like an over talking situation. He tells you information that you need to know. He doesn't just do what you tell him to do and just take the money. You get what I'm saying? He's also gonna ask you if you have any questions. There could be 1,000 questions. He'll answer them. So because I had told him I had wanted my chin done, he implemented the chin lipo into my quote for free. So he decided to plan my chin lipo like 2 days after my surgery, right? Because the day of my surgery, I had lost tons of blood and he didn't want to take that chance on puncturing my chin. So he said, my mom, come back 2 days later. I'm gonna give you your chin strap and all of those things, right? So once I came out of surgery and I was able to check into my Airbnb, I realized that the pain was really excruciating, and I told my mom that I wasn't going to opt into getting chin lipo because I could barely upkeep with what I had already going on already. They will give you a quote via WhatsApp, but when you physically get there, things change. You will be having things on your quote that you thought you never needed on your quote, and they'll also offer you free surgery, like free chin lipo. They'll give you a discount on certain procedures that you do get. So some doctors are really nice like that, and I just so happen to have an amazing doctor who was just like that. He has a beautiful staff. He doesn't take advantage of his patients. Like, he understands. He's willing to get to know his patients. Definitely 10 out of 10. Do not go to him thinking that you need to be using a wish pick, okay? But you don't know if those girls have multiple rounds. You don't know if they got butt shots. You don't know what they got, because that doctor doesn't know the bone structure. That doctor doesn't even know if the pictures are Photoshop. And then you also have to understand that based off of your frame, which is your foundation, your doctor has to work based off of that. If you skinny as a goddamn pencil and you trying to go in there and get a ghetto booty, you're gonna come out looking crazy. You're gonna come out looking like an ant. It's just not gonna be proportioned. He aims for a more natural look, making sure your body parts are proportioned. Okay. His incisions are so seamless. Like right now, my incisions from my back lift are so seamless. Like, look at that. You see how thin they are? Like, that's beautiful. Look at that. You see that? You can barely see it. Mind you, it's only like a month and a half of me healing. Like, I have so much more longer to go. Dr. Argini Mercedes, the mother goat. Next question. Maya Crofton, please don't crucify me if I pronounce your name wrong, baby. She asked me, will you still be doing mukbangs or is your content going to change? So I'm still gonna be doing mukbangs. That's my first baby. I've never strayed away from mukbangs, and I've never boxed myself in to make one specific type of content. I pretty much like to do whatever I like to do. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of everything, okay? Next question. Meg Wino for TikTok says, do they prescribe you pain meds, narcotics for aftercare if the pain gets really intense? And what does your body feel like post-op? The pain meds that they prescribed to me in my post-op package wasn't really working for me because the dosage was low. I didn't feel like it gave me like a ibuprofen type of feel, but they did say that when I got home that I could take a ibuprofen. As of right now, I do still feel numb, like in my lower back, and my back is still swollen. At times you're gonna feel bloated. It is also very true that your appetite is gonna be suppressed, so you're still not gonna be able to eat the same amount of food that you were eating before. It really depends based off of the person too. So next question. Joyson8968 asked me, how do you sleep since you did a tummy tuck and a BBL at the same time? So I didn't get a full tummy tuck. A full tummy tuck is from side to side. A mini tummy tuck is basically half of that. I got my breast done, so there was no way that I could ever lay on my stomach. I was laying flat on my back. I sat on my BBL pillow. I laid on my BBL pillow. Savannah the Siren from YouTube, how are you able to sit on your butt right away? I feel like everyone else I've seen said that they can't sit on their behind for at least 6 weeks. I can sit on my butt. That's only because, once again, I got 6 different procedures done, so there's only one way for me to sit. But yeah, I use my BBL pillow for everything. When I go out in public, it's with me. But for the most part, y'all, if I can be informative and I've been through something and I can help somebody else, why not? There's nothing wrong with getting surgery. There's nothing wrong with being natural. Because, you know, there's some people that was saying that I was slandering the whole BBL thing, which I never did. I'm always advocating for women that want to do whatever they want to do with their body. Whatever you choose to do with your body is your business. At the end of the day, people still gonna talk about you. At the end of the day, somebody gonna have an opinion. Are you gonna live your life based off of how other people feel about you, or you just gonna live your life? Are you going to live your life based off of how other people view you? Are you going to live your life based off of who don't like you? Okay, if you've been thinking about getting surgery, go get surgery. But before we clock out, let me show y'all what the body is looking like a month and a half post-op. Body tea, ooh, a body tea, a body tea, ooh. Yeah, this is 1.5 months post-op. Look at that. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And keep my bell notifications on so you can be notified when the next time I post.